Greetings, my friends. This is Maerlande. Let's continue with tactical briefing. Turn number 22 and some major action. The war with Vanheim proceeds fairly well, but as you can see here, we had a little bit of a setback. That's not a very successful fight. My losses were quite substantial. His were fairly insignificant. Lost some militia and I got a mage. My magi got away, so that's a good thing. Other news, got some hunting done and patrolling. That's about it. No success on site searching. Let's watch this fight. See what happens here and see if Vanheim did something interesting, sneaky, or just the bare basics. Okay, divine blessing. My squads are busting up a little bit. I probably should have gone and sorted out some guys. Yeah, we got an awful lot of jaguars with an awful lot of afflictions, so that would have been good. He's tossing out some flying shards from his dwarven smiths. That's pretty insignificant, and frankly, he should already know I have a blood 9 bless. It's a good way to end up with dead smiths. Maybe we'll move over here and zoom in. There looks like a smith. Magic resistance of 17, so that's very substantial. But even so, I think he's making a big mistake. Now, flying shards doesn't do much damage. It's a pretty bare bones, crappy little spell. But if it was to carry on and I had big groups, any kind of large area of effect evocation can end up with dead magi from the blood vengeance. See, he hit here, but I didn't see any damage on that smith. I'll keep watching a bit. I'm going to speed this up a bit. I still don't see any damage effects. No, looks like that smith's magic resistance is keeping things from causing great grief. We're getting chopped up pretty bad over here, down on this bottom side flank. And I can see where we're going to have the effect of getting a lot of militia. So I'm not sure. What have we got here? Just plain swordsman. Believe he hired a mercenary. So I don't think I need to show all of this fight. You can pretty much tell right now that it's not working. You can see though I did change up my script, kept my eagle warriors at home, back guarding the commanders, as honestly they are just melting, so we got to make some serious changes. Okay, well, let's see how I responded to him knocking me off his capital. I'm pulling back, taking those commanders that retreated, collect them again. You can see, got some simple action here, pulling back a couple of tribal kings, go to collect another group of eagles and so on. And since he's cleared off his capital and he's probably going to attack back, let's try circling around him. Now, it's a little hard to see right now. I'm going to cancel these movements that were previously set up, just so we can have a look and see if that water is still open. Can't really tell here. Yes, it is. So the river crossing here is available, but the one over here is not. So I might get a chance to grab a little more territory. Maybe just keep him off balance. It's something I like to do a lot of. Keep an opponent off balance. Don't be predictable. I really find that just making a beeline direct for a capital without some encirclement or taking some territory makes you very obvious and knocks the initiative away. Recruitment's pretty basic. I'm doing blood hunting in this province with 7,500. With patrolling, keep the unrest down. The blood hunting's pretty successful. I'm doing a moderate amount of blood hunting in my capital. Sacrificing with high holy, so 3 slaves a turn. Should mention, I think I talked about it previously, but if you fill a mage or a priest that's going to sacrifice, blood sacrifice with slaves, at the beginning of every turn it'll reload him up to his limit. So that works well. Now for research, I gotta grab a little bit of blood. The big target here, I'm going for, where's that funny spell? Blood Feast. I want to try to grab Blood Feast and heal some of my expensive capital only magi that have gotten afflictions. They can cast that spell, heal their afflictions, and they become a cannibal. So I'm not sure that it's something you want to do a lot of, and as last I checked, there was a bug that the cannibal thing doesn't stick around. but that's going to get fixed, I'm sure. And in the interim, at least you can salvage them. Beyond that, you can see lots of site searching, spreading around, trying to site search a broad spectrum of the different magic paths. I'm going to go grab this end one with a new holly. New holly are an effective site searcher for me. Inexpensive, grab some astral and some nature. And you can then use the capital magi. Recruitment, I think you can guess. I'm just going to stick with the basics. Just to back up, yeah, as you can tell, I've pretty much given up on Eagle Warriors. They just aren't doing me any good, so why use them? I really didn't get the right bless for Eagle Warriors anyways. They're nowhere near as robust as Jaguars, so a defensive bless, like Nature and Blood, isn't really optimal. You gotta crank up their killing power. And that's a different design. Okay, I'm happy to call that done with turn number 22. Let's take a look at turn number 23. In the action stuff, okay, got a little bit of blood magic, just level 1 for now. Well, I guess I misspoke. I think it's hard to remember sometimes months back. I believe my target was just to grab summon imps. There we are. So that my blood hunters will have a bit of defensive options other than just banish. Banish isn't going to do any good against Vanheim. He's not running at me with any undead or demons. But it does give me the summon imps. And I'm going to try out this bind fiery imps. Now let's see if I started it yet. But first off, we'll go through the rest of the messages. It was not a very successful turn for site searching. And I had a successful raid. Well, I lost some trivial group of slaves. Pretty sure I know why. Let's just zoom in and check my script. Pretty sure I stuffed them up front to soak up damage. There they are, see? Might as well take some shots on them. It's cavalry, so getting whacked for lances and javelins. Might as well soak up that first lance hit with crap troops. And then the Jags will come. So that was extremely successful. I don't feel like it's required to watch it in great detail. For those who want, you can check out my topic on Deseriforms, and in the original post you can look up where I've stored all of my turn files and you can review them in detail. He's attacking back at me. Captain, Commander, Militias, and Swordsman. So pretty basic. Where was that? Right here. He took the throne back. Well, it's pretty obvious that with the throne adjacent to his capital, we're going to be bouncing back and forth there for a while. And you can see I'm bringing up very large numbers of troops. Let's take advantage of the very handy Y key. There you go. Big hordes of Jaguars coming. Well, I suppose not really hordes, but good sized chunks of them. So let's rebuild. I am rebuilding, putting my troops in a good sized stack. Give myself some options. I see that all of these rivers are now frozen, so he has the potential to come out here with glamour troops that I can't see and attack back where I'm raiding. So I'm going to make a little dodge to the south, grab this nice juicy farmland. Hopefully it's a good one. You can also see that I'm still spreading scouts everywhere. Got a line of scouts moving from this swamp, coming north. Let's get good scouting on all of his lands. I haven't penetrated too deep into the other players, because at this point in time, they're not showing any signs of garrisoning large bodies of troops on my border. So I'm going to assume that means they don't feel like taking the risk. And I can concentrate, which is good. It's good to concentrate your attacks. If you get spread too far, get a 2-front war or a 3-front war, life can get rough. Back at home, quickly we'll look at recruitment. Again, so you can see I still think I need more tribal kings. Might seem like an odd choice, but it's a little quicker to grab one here, and since I don't have any slow to recruit magi, I'm not suffering from the problem that I have to dedicate my capital to pumping out my critical slow to recruits. And the other forts I can pump out whatever I want, but the core of everything is going to be tons and tons of Mictlan priests. Let's have a look here. There we go. I grabbed a fire random Mictlan priest. So that's pretty sweet. So that one there, he is going to try casting some fiery imps. I want to try them out. I've never tried them before. There's something new in the game. We'll see how they turn out. So I think that's good enough for turn 23. Let's quit this and open turn number 24 and see how hard Miquelin's going to fight back, or if he's just going to play a little bit careful. Well, we did find a magic site, so that's kind of a bonus. Moonlit Halls, basic. Yeah, 1 astral, but always good. And we did get a few fiery imps. So we got 5 of them. What do they look like? Okay, they throw flames. We've got a damage of 5. It's magic and fire. And the range is 20. So that's pretty good. How many shots do they get? They get only 3 ammunition. So that's not going to do a tremendous amount, but they're very, very cheap. Let's just review what that cost is again. Buying fiery imps, 2 blood slaves for 5 of them, or if you use a better mage, you'll get more. Now the plus here means that it takes blood 1, fire 1 to cast it, and the primary is blood, so it's going to go off the primary path. So if I have a mage with blood 2, I'll get 6 per cast, and so on and so forth. Some spells, the plus, it doesn't show here in the game, but you can find it if you look up the mod inspector, have a plus 2. That means that every extra path level you have, you get 2 more. And I think there's even a few that give a plus 3. But you can envision that if you've got something like, let's say, a pretender with 9 in a path, there are some very economical summons in the game. It's not something that applies directly to my situation here, but it is something to consider. Okay, now back to the other messages. So, Vanheim is going to press a little harder at me. And I am continuing to raid at him. Oh, shoot. Something went wrong there. I lost my tribal king. Let's just see what went wrong. I have a suspicion he ran forward. Or maybe there was a flanking move by Vanheim. Well, it's just militia, so I think effectively there's just something kind of went wrong for me. Let's hit the fast forward and see how it goes. Okay, here comes the cavalry. And I suspect I put them on hold ×5, stay behind troops. But since there are almost no slingers, oh I see, and the 2 slingers I have, I left on guard commander, and there we go. So he's running forward, and his slingers are going with him, and so he's just going to get, something's going to go wrong and get him killed. Yep, there we go, poof. Well, that's frustrating. Well, let me check that one more time. There's something interesting going on there. A little bit more than I expected. Okay, have a look here. Right, I think what he did is he threw a javelin and hit one of my jaguars, and the blood vengeance got him. That's somewhat of a risk, friendly fire casualties. Okay, good. I think that covers this turn quite adequately. Unexpected events, some pretty basic stuff. Okay, that's my misfortune coming to hurt me. And I am forming up. We're going to take a quick look at the Y key here. And I'm bringing those large squads of jaguars moving in here to Darkwoods. And there's a few other stuff in there. Might as well blood hunt there. Have some slaves ready. I'm going to build a temple. So, clearly I've got a plan. I imagine we'll see in the next few turns I'm going to fort that one up. I could fort this nice farmland, but I'm intending eventually to own Vanheim. I don't really want to strip resources from it by forting up adjacent to it. I'm assuming, of course, that I'll win this war, but I don't think that's an excessive assumption. So thanks for watching, my friends. There's nothing else in particular I want to talk about, so I hope to see you in game.